This is May 18th, 2019. Today's highlighted match is LA Park, Volador Jr. and Flyer versus Los Ingobernables, Rush, Terrible, and Bestia del Ring. Taped and aired on May 25th, 2018 in Arena, Mexico, this was a Super Friday event. For the bio section today, instead of going over all 6 guys, this will be more painting the picture of the match, how and why it happened. I've mentioned in previous reviews that in the spring of 2017, La Mascara and Maximo Sexy were fired from CMLL for vandalizing Ultimo Guerrero's car, with La Sombra having already left for NXT/WWE in late 2015. This led Los Ingobernables to being just a 2-man team of Rush and his father, Bestia del Ring. It left the group feeling barren in CMLL, the world of trios matches. Fast forward to February 23rd, 2018 and the Incredible Pairs tournament that CMLL annually holds. Technical face of the company Volador Jr. and Big Bad Rudo Ultimo Guerrero versus Technico on paper Rush and Rudo Terrible. This match having a controversial end in which Rush entered the ring in the 3rd round after he had already been eliminated to give a big assist to Terrible, helping them win the biggest annual tag tournament in CMLL. Post-match, Rush invited Terrible to join Los Ingobernables, and once again the faction felt full. Fast forward again to the other big annual tag tournament of the year, Grand Alternative, whose gimmick instead of being Rudo and Technico pairings is instead pairings of new talents and more established talents, both of the same alignment. The 2018 finals on May 18th, 2018, a week before the match we are watching today, Volador Jr. being with nephew Flyer versus Ultimo Guerrero and Templario. This saw Volador Jr. and Flyer win, only to have their parade rained on by Los Ingobernables, who ran in to beat them down. Enter LA Park, uncle of Volador Jr. and great-uncle to Flyer, and LA Park's son, Hio D. LA Park, to save the day. This marked the return for LA Park after 3 years, but 3 years ago he only appeared twice before he and CMLL management disagreed about his conduct, namely cursing on microphone and flipping off fans. He and Dr. Wagner Jr. worked opposite each other and seemingly might have done the mask vs. mask match that everyone wanted. So really the last time before this that LA Park could have been considered a CMLL roster member would have been way back in 2008, a decade prior. So for CMLL and CMLL fans, his return in 2018 was epic. This would mark the first of 16 matches that LA Park would have in CMLL last year, most of which were great outside of the one that featured Cybernetico and a visibly annoyed LA Park. LA Park isn't a company man and never has been, better known as a freelancer, though if LA Park is going to lose his mask, either AAA or CMLL are the only sensible options, as no indie would be able to pay the fee that his mask would ask. Volador Jr. is the face of the company. Flyer is a fairly new talent, this being his first big exposure in CMLL. This and the week prior when he was in Grand Alternative, because that is a big tournament. But this I would argue that this is probably even bigger than that, because that almost set up this. So that was kind of pre-build to this big match with LA Park coming back to CMLL. Los Ingobernables are Rush, the de facto leader, his father Bestia del Ring, and newish member Terrible, who again would have just joined a few months before this, and of course LA Park, the original La Parka. He had to change his name in the early 2000s when AAA were mad that he was working CMLL, so they upgraded their La Parka Jr. to just being La Parka, and then the original La Parka, this guy, became LA Park. With that out of the way, how was the match? Great! This is as loud and excited as a crowd can possibly be. LA Park, too, didn't come off as a legend past his prime resting on his laurels. He came back into CMLL like a force of nature and dominated this match. I prefer this to the singles match that Rush and LA Park had later in the year. I'll link that in the description to this video along with the other LA Park versus Rush singles match that many people loved from 2016. I went with this over either of those because it's the start of a whole summer-long program that even went into the fall with Park and Rush, all of which have their moments. As I mentioned earlier, LA Park had 16 matches in CMLL in 2018, and 9 of them made my top 100 list for CMLL, and this landed at the number 3 spot behind the Angel de Oro / Cuatrero Mask vs. Mask match, and Barbero Cavernario vs. Phoenix for the Leyen de Plata trophy. To me, the Park-Rush feud is really what defined CMLL last year. It was a great feud, and nearly every time they came out to battle, it felt like an epic occasion. More often than not, it would close the show. If CMLL doesn't run the LA Park vs. Rush Lucha de Apuestas match, they will be making a grave mistake, as it's a match that everyone wants to see, and if that means paying LA Park all the tea in China, get to calling China. I'll link my top 100 CMLL matches of 2018 in the description for this video, so you can check out some of the other great matches they had from this saga last year. I'm thinking of making a blog post of all the CMLL LA Park matches in chronological order since he came back, because most of, if not all of them, are free on YouTube right now. That's all for today's match review. This is Lost in Lucha, signing out.